In this Eternal Return video, we're gonna be watching Imchacha, an Immortal ranked Yuki player, use him to decimate his opponents in ladder. Weapon skill now doesn't have that anymore, and now lands his ult, and now dodges out of the ult from the other Yuki. This is gonna be the turn. Here's the build and the ID. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Let's get it. Laevateinn World, and we're back with another one. Today we're going to be watching some Yuki gameplay, and it's coming from a guy known as Imchacha. I'm going to be calling him Chacha for simplicity. I'm not sure that's his actual name, but we're just going to go with that. And usually we watch Hook 42. Actually, translated, that means Black 42. Usually we watch Black's Yuki gameplay, but today I decided to check out someone else. He just made Immortal rank. Actually, I think this is the game that gets him his promotion into the Immortal rank. So congrats to Yuki. You should check out his stream. Very good player. This is pretty much standard Yuki. It's been the same for both videos I think we've done on Yuki so far. You go from alley to factory to chapel, then you go to temple, and finally you finish up at pond. And of course, the Dragon Doorbook, a very strong item on Yuki, just gives you that extra attack range. It gives you the cooldown reduction. It gives you a lot of important stats that you're going to need. It gives you defense and attack as well on the Yuki. So a pretty strong item, that Dragon Doorbook. That's going to be our target. We're going to see if he builds his Samshir right now or whether he doesn't do that. Okay, for now he just seems to be getting the Musamane on. I want to call it the Musa main. It's the blade that builds into Arondite, of course. Okay, Burnus might be in trouble here. Will he be in trouble? The other Yuki looks like he wants to fight him. Item advantage for the other Yuki. And Burnus here just being avoided. Alright, so the Masamune coming through. The Masamune. I need something to mispronunciate since we've sorted out the Iod problem. It was supposed to be Fragarach. We also did that for a while, so I need a new item. I think Masamune is it, but it's done with now. He actually manages to finish the Arondite, and he's going to be running into Chapel here. And he's going to be getting that Saint's Relic that he needs for the Veritax Laxmia. Veritax Laxmia, cool item, guys. It gives you CDR, it gives you skill amp, and so much action here right now. Heart's now going to be jumping on Heart, missing a Q, and he just has to run away. Imchacha trying to get away, Heart using her E. There's so many players here right now, 6 players in total. No one really falling after the aftermath of that, but he's going to be losing a lot of time here. Heart still pursuing onto this. Heart wants this. And the stun. And he's going to be getting some autos done. Can he land his ult though? He does his E and dodges the weapon skill. That's so big. Gets the charm. And Heart can't ulti her way out of that. Really well played by Chacha. But the action's not over. Lee Dylin now jumping on him. And Lee Dylin leaving it alone. Lee Dylin deciding to do something else. Chacha playing that like a beast. And it seems like he's a fan of a Mumu from League of Legends. You just see he's kitted out with the Mumu gear in his icon there to the left of the screen. So for now, does seem like he just wants to get some binoculars and build the motorcycle helmet. That item will be transitioned into the tactical ops once he gets enough time. Kui Pao gonna be found. Burnus now trying his auto into a Q, missing on the Q though, and gives up on that pursuit. Yuki gonna be pathing around here, just looking for the Burnus after the Burnus was looking for him. And now just searching for a helmet here, trying to get that. Searching the other Yuki, doesn't find it on him. Ooh, lighters are the Yuki item of choice, of course. Samshir and Laevateinn needing to be built. So he's holding on to all of those. And just dumping the other combat boots. I think he had the white rhinos on already. Now just needs to find a monk's robe, and he can build the Veritax Laxmia. I was talking about it. It gives you I think it's still 10 normal attack damage, but it might be 15 now after the buffs. And then it gives you 8% skill amp, and it also gives you 10% CDR. Veritex Lakshmiya, great item, especially on Yuki. I know another character who loves building it is Isol. So the two young lads, I suppose, prefer building that item. So now he's just gonna have his Veritex Lakshmiya, and he's being chased by a Zahir here, but the Zahir is probably not gonna chase him too far, not around walls. Vision would be very deadly to chase into without having it for the Zahir, so just backs off there. And yeah, Chacha just gets some time to do what he feels he needs to do. Pond gonna be closing up in 3, 2, 1, and he's in a restricted area. Gonna have to path out, go to the hospital. Pond, of course, he just needed the turtle shell, can go to dock or beach and try and find it there. Just going to be searching hospital for scissors, wants to get the ops helmet done. Okay, leaves a marker there, questioning something. I didn't see, but I think there was a visual bug there. I'm not sure. I thought I tripped out, but he pinged it, so maybe there was a little bit of a visual bug that happened. Sheath of Shah Jahan gonna be coming through, and that's always great to see. One of my favorite items, the Sheath of Shah Jahan, of course, just gives you 30 attack power and around 300 health. Just searching, so efficient. Guys, I haven't been mentioning this in a lot of my videos because, you know, as time goes on, I stop mentioning stuff, but you just need to be efficient in Black Survival. You need to be doing what I like to call MAMP, meaningful actions per minute. So you want to always be doing something useful. Notice that there's never a pause in Yuki's gameplay where he's not doing something effective. He's not trying to path towards something to kill. He's not trying to path towards a different region. He's not trying to complete a new item, maybe find some meteorites. You always need to be doing something useful. A lot of the time what can happen is if you don't have a proper game plan, you can do this thing where you kind of run around the map left to right. You're not sure what you're doing or what you're looking for, taking random items. You need to be very, very solid in your gameplay. It's really worth taking the time to not only study the routes you need to follow, but also the other items that you can path into, like the glass panel taken here. And glass panel, if you don't know, he can take his glass panel and he can build it into a optical camouflage suit. That's one of the items he can path into. He can also use that for radar. So he has two different options. Just going to be building the heated stone here, getting a bunch of heated stone, and that's going to be used to make food. So you see he's always in the game, checking the Chiara before he fights her, deciding not with that Mistelstein, and he's just going to move on to bigger and better things. So yeah, guys, like always be prioritizing doing something important on the map. I cannot stress this enough. There's no time to not know what you're doing. So it's very worth studying optional items and consumables. Consumables and the optional items are more or less what people look for. So what will tend to happen is people tend to get their full build first, and then once they've got their planned build, they will fight within the constraints of that. And he's just going to be able to get Tree of Life here. This is so great for him. He's going to be able to use this to get the true Samadhi fire, and he's going to use that to get the Laevateinn. Laevateinn, the favorite item for Yuki's. It's a legendary two-hander, and it just loves getting built on Yuki. So like I was saying, like items like Laevateinn, funny enough, we mentioned the Laevateinn. You kind of want to be always prioritizing. If you've already finished your build, you've got to build now the Laevateins. You've got to finish things like Elysian Halo, the new item that's come out. You've got to focus on farming wolves on the map, wolves and bears. Try and get some mithril, try and get some force cores. Those build into big items. So your force cores can get you things like Boots of Hermes. Boots of Hermes kind of falling off on a lot of the characters these days. Not really a priority. People prefer to actually build remote traps for the last region. Remote traps do 450 trap damage. Just a ton of damage when people walk into them and are unable to dodge. And they really change fights. Usually 1v1s in Black Survival are very close, and you know, it's just enough damage to turn the fight, literally. Alright, so he gets the Samshir, and now he's going to be able to make the Laevateinn off that Samshir. Does so and finishes that item. Now is very, very strong. Going to temple. So in temple, he's going to search for people here. The region's closing up. Just ping everyone. He knows Isol's here. He knows Chiara's around him. Just gonna want to take this bear. And this is where Dragon Doorbox shows its power for sure. If you can just see, he's completely out of the range of the stun while autoing the bear there. And you start to see why Dragon Doorbox is such a powerful item on Yuki. Because he's able to stun people from such a far range. It really makes setting up your ultimate really, really easy. So Dragon Doorbox, the preferred item, and this Erendite build has now been meta for, I think, a good month. It's stuck in the meta, maybe even more than that. So this will be the build for Yuki going forward, unless things tend to change. It's like we found a character with more stability. Just going to be able to find the potatoes now. Baked potatoes going to be coming through. And that's going to be a very, very yummy meal. He's got a lot of baked potatoes he's going to be able to make here. Pretty much going to finish the food items that he's going to need. And he's already got that honey water. Yeah, just getting all of those baked potatoes. How many stacks does he end up making? Ooh, 12 stacks of baked potatoes. That's a very, very starchy boy. Starched up Yuki. And I hope he doesn't spill any of those potatoes on his jacket, because he's always looking clean. Of course, Yuki, the master of buttoning up. Oh, and speaking of buttoning up, he's going to want to button up the Chiara as he messes her up with 2 autos, but doesn't actually choose to take the fight. Kind of just checking whether he could take that fight. Of course, Chiara full build. Only thing that Chiara could really build is a Hermes. But that item, like I said, seems to be falling off in terms of priority. People tend to not want to build it as much. It used to be a every game item where you'd see that pop up. And now just looking to finish the radar. So we won't be seeing optical camouflage suit. Instead, radar going to be taking the place of Sheath of Shah Jahan. And he can find it. Luckily knew that he had to path to Uptown to get the watch and the piano wire in one place. Now he just has to be lucky enough that he manages to find the watch and the piano wire here. And he's pathing into the bush. And now just going to be searching this chest, seeing what's inside. Chickens. Optical camouflage suit actually ignored. So never was in the cards for him anyway. But considering the fact that radar is going to come through, it can't be a consideration. Of course, radar, a crit item, and it also gives you 40% attack speed. So Dragon Doorbox in that chest, not really taken. And he manages to find the watch, going to be able to make the cell phone, get that vital heart sensor, and the radar is going to be coming through very, very soon. Just moves a little bit out of range and still can optimize items. Of course, there's a lot of items that can still improve, but the ISO gonna have to run away from this first. E into the Q and the ults. This will be ISO going down. Pops after the second part of the ults, just decimates him. And Leather Shield not being held onto. Doesn't even want the Mithril Shield. Of course doesn't want it because he's got the Radar on. Mithril Shield and Radar pretty much more or less I'd rate same power level items, do different things. Where he can actually improve is with his head item, the Elysian Halo. Will lose a bunch of attack speed, but since he got the Radar anyway, that will more than compensate for it. So he could possibly build the Elysian Halo, of course get a lot of attack power and defense off of that head item. It's my favorite item, it just looks dope, it feels dope when you play with it. Laevateinn, Jukai, Aya, and a Yuki left. I think I forgot one person on that list. Okay, there's another Yuki as well. 2 Yukis, Laevateinn, Aya, and a Jukai. A lot of people in this region, Jukai as well, Laevateinn here. He's pathing towards the Laevateinn very aggressively, but just gonna settle for the wild dog instead. Poor dog did nothing wrong, but got in the way of a Kendo master. Very well trained student Yuki, top of the class, you can see it. And the other Yuki now just going to be jumping into those traps, and the other Yuki is doing so much damage to him. Wow! Chipping him for so much, and luckily he just has enough time to stun. And Aya here got it complicated, has to kite away from the Laevateinn, very fast reflexes, takes his time, doesn't commit to walking too fast out of the region. Laevateinn wanted to cut him off on the other side, so he just decides to take it slow and actually waits here, finds some time to rest. Really intelligent play by Chacha here. Chacha is doing the most right now. And of course, red shoes, another item you can build on the Yuki. So if he manages to get the kill on the other Yuki, he could steal both the red shoes and the Elysian Halo, and that would give him 4 legendary items. Just going to be using his W, and now gets the stun onto Laevateinn because of that D-Dobok, but just decides not to follow it up and goes into the direction of these wolves here, wants to contest. Although there's no item he's really contesting for, just wants to stun the Aya. Gonna have to back off, uses his E. Aya follows up with the E of her own. Aya's pursuing this. Aya really wants to kill. He's gonna have to use his E to get out, and he does. Really well played by Chacha here. Just going to be looting the Zahir, trying to find some food items, doesn't. And he's just going to be sitting down. Look at Aya, 5 legendary items. She's got the Agni, Blazing Dress, Laurel Wreath, Radar, and red shoes on her. She's stacked. Aya, a really huge threat here. He uses his Q to the E and now has to dodge out on his ult. Doesn't have it, and he's doing so much damage to her. Now just going to be trying to dash in with his E, and he does. The ult's going to take her down. What a play by Chacha. Doing so well. I couldn't keep up to the first half of the fight, but he just played that like a boss. Aya even had Mithril. She was completely stacked, like out of her mind stacked. And this is just going to be every item taken off. And yeah, what items does he take? He keeps the white rhinos on instead of putting on the red shoes. So not going to be getting lifesteal from the white rhinos. I think he doesn't feel he needs it, but is going against a red shoes Yuki. So we're going to have to see how that matchup plays out. Of course, the Elysian Halo going to be creating a very huge differential between them. And the other Yuki just looked very strong the last time they fought. Moonstone Pendant being ignored. He does not want lifesteal at all. Not a huge priority for him. And now just going to be able to build Mithril String. Of course, Mithril String, a trap item. 4 players left, 3 kills on Chacha. Make that 3 players left. Laevateinn going down. And there's 1 Laevateinn and 2 Yukis left. Do they gang on the other Laevateinn? I think they might not want to, and this is just the auto into the E, and now he misses on his weapon skill, so that's going to be the end of that engage. Usually what will happen is people tend to want 1v1s with their own characters, but that depends. That's more characters like Jukai. Jukais will kind of team you if they get the opportunity to, because you are a threat to them both, and that's not going to be happening this time. Yukis would rather take the Laevateinn 1v1, I think, then take another Yuki. So what's going to kind of happen here is Chacha's just going to be prioritizing staying in the safe zones. Looks like he wants to be more passive, and he's going to want to cut off the lead island here, just warding and making sure he can get the cutoff point, and just patiently waiting for his time to third party. Going to stun the other Yuki, uses his EE from the other Yuki, and they are doing some other samurai moves on each other. Really looks like an anime movie, guys. I've seen it before. You know that scene where you see the two blade masters go at each other and then they stand in opposing directions and one of them collapses down onto the floor. That's pretty much what just happened between the two Yukis. And now he's in the safe region on time, and the other two are duking it out. Lead Island versus Yuki. Who will win that battle? And it looks like the Yuki getting the upper hand so far. We'll see who's got it. And the other Yuki's got it. So Yuki versus Yuki here. Chacha versus the other Yuki here. And the other Yuki's shredding him right now. Chacha's in a lot of trouble. He goes back into this. Uses his E now. His second E to dash out. And just going to be trying to get his health back up. The other Yuki showing him a lot of respect here. Not pursuing. I think he should have pursued, but maybe burnt his ult in the fight against the other lead island. Maybe doesn't want to take the engage yet. So Chacha probably being saved by the fact that the other Yuki has to wait for the cooldown on his ult. We're going to be seeing a reset on the regions. Both of them going to be forced to a lost console in around 30 seconds after this. Yeah, so 30 seconds they have time to prepare. And we'll see what he wants to do with those 30 seconds. Just going to be attacking this wild dog. Already has level 20. So really just doing that for mastery, I guess. And just going to be attacking the wolves now. Shredding up some wolves. Already has mastery in both of his skills there for his weapon skill. Just going to be using his W to reset his button up. Oh, the other Yuki's doing something so smart. It's so hard to click on the other Yuki with all of these wards. And now so much damage coming out from the other Yuki. Chacha here in a lot of trouble. That ward region is really tough to fight around. And Chacha's going to be in a lot of trouble. Look, he's trying to clear the wards and just getting bullied every time he tries to go back into the zone. Oh my gosh, so much damage coming out from the other Yuki. Chacha here in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to... Oh my gosh, just dodges out on that. If that stun had landed, that could have been the stun into the ultimate. Running away from the other Yuki. Gonna have to try and hit these wards here. Plant some wards of his own to ruin the auto attacks of the other Yuki. This is high level gameplay. I've never thought about doing this. This is very intelligent. Messing up someone's autos using the wards. And now E gonna be coming through from Chacha. He's gonna try and turn this, taking so much damage. Uses his weapon skill. Now doesn't have that anymore. And now lands his ult. And now dodges out of the ult from the other Yuki. This is gonna be the third fight. And this is gonna be the end of that other Yuki. Chacha playing that like a boss at the end. What a fight. That is big pop-offs by the boy Chacha. And that's going to be the victory, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is your boy Loy Meets World signing off. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. I'm out.